Amen. This represents us in this district, in the Bronx County. Amen. This is our U.S. Congressman, amen, that represents us in Washington, D.C. None other than U.S. Congressman and House of Representative Ritchie Torres. Come on, let's receive him.
Well, first, I'm not only here because of the government shutdown, but because Pastor Gooding is a gift and a blessing from God. But Pastor, I'm not sure if you're actually 64. I'm skeptical that he's 64 because he's more energetic than I am, and I'm 37. He puts me to shame. But Pastor Gooding has a youthful and joyful spirit that never ages. And I see him everywhere. I see him at the 49th Precinct, at Community Board 12, at the Congressional Black Caucus Prayer Breakfast. You know, I feel there are two people who are in all places at all times in the Bronx. One is God, who's not a person, and the other is Pastor Gooding. And so, Pastor, I'm just enormously grateful for your service, and he is committed to combating gun violence. And, you know, it's been said that to live in a community, when you live in a community that is shaken by gun violence, you face the same trauma and post-traumatic stress as soldiers in a war zone. Right. And I remember Pastor Gooding telling me that he has to deliver eulogies, frequently deliver eulogies about young men whose lives have been cut short by gun violence. Can you imagine that psychological burden? Instead of children burying their parents, Pastor Gooding has to comfort parents who are burying their children. And yet, despite all the anguish and all the pain, he both preaches and practices his faith with grace, with generosity, with dignity. He never loses hope. And there's another word for hope, and it's called faith. And Pastor Gooding has shown us that when you have faith, when you have trust in God, there is no trauma, there is no tragedy that young people don't make the same mistake that I did. You're only one bullet away from spending the rest of your life in prison. And were it not for people like, I had mentors in my life like Pastor Gooding who steered me in the right direction. More than a decade ago, I was a broken man. I had dropped out of college, struggling with depression, abusing substances, even thought of taking my own life because I felt as if the world around me had collapsed. And by the grace of God, I rebuilt my life. And a few years later, became the youngest elected official in New York City. And now I stand before you as a United States Congressman. And so even in your darkest moment, never lose hope, never lose faith. And I've been in politics for 20 years. Pastor Gooding is one of the most extraordinary people I've ever met. He is, to me, the greatest testament to God's grace. I'm honored to call you a friend, but I'm honored to represent a community that has you as one of its leaders. So God bless you.